I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone.
Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
And that'll do it. It's over. The Golden State Warriors return to a familiar place. They're on top of the NBA world.
We're down to 2, now to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes! It is all over. The Chicago Bulls.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah!
It's Wednesday. That's right. You know what time it is. Welcome to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am one half of that duo, Cole Johnson. The other half will join me momentarily. Hello, everybody. Good morning to everybody at the BS3 Network. Everybody over at the everybody over the YouTube channel. Everybody who's listening to us on every affiliate. We are so happy to be amongst the throng. It is like what Jay-Z said. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here with us. Let me say hello to the chat. Good morning, A Pistol. It is a pleasure to see you as always, my friend. It is a wonderful day. And let's kick off this wonderful day by going on the whip around. Starting Houston, shall we? You have a no-hitter going into the 7th inning, but manager decides to pull you. Well, that is what happened to Justin Verlander as he pitched 6 no-hit ball, 6 innings of no-hit ball, but he got yanked. He got pulled, but the reason was okay with him. And he went on to say the following, quote, I like to go deep in games in the regular season, but I'd rather do it in the postseason or at least be fresh and strong for that. Close quote. And it's understandable. I mean, he is coming off of Tommy John surgery, and he actually sat out a full year after he had the surgery. So it is quite understandable that the manager, who is Desi Baker in this case, wants to ease him into postseason play and, of course, save the arm for October and early November. That's the most important time of the year anyway. And it looks like he's pitching his way to a Cy Young Award this year. So I like the move, and I'm glad that Justin's on board with it, and I'm glad he understands it. I mean, dude's 39. How can he not understand it? Sorry that I'm laughing before I even get to the story, but Rigoberto Sanchez. Now, if you don't know the name, he is the punter for the Colts. He was doing suicide sprints because he wanted to be part of the team, but he suffered an Achilles injury while doing so. So the punter went down during sprints, and the team sports person said that he'll undergo further testing today, and it'll confirm if he tore his Achilles. Now, the 27-year-old has been one of the, I guess you could say, most stalwart players, to say these players on the roster. This is his 6th season in the league, and he's averaged pretty good in punts, between 45 and 46, a little over 46 yards per punt. And so he's an invaluable piece to the puzzle. Now, last year he had the special teams of his team down 23 of his 58 punts inside the 20. So yes, his presence will be hugely missed. And man, you just don't think that you would hear injuries like that be on a punter, but in this case, it sucks. I hate it for him, but those are the breaks, and I hate the fact that Rigoberto has now had to probably be out for the year and rehabilitate that, and hopefully he could be back for the 2023 season. Switching to Major League Baseball, back to basic baseball, Fernando Tatis Jr., he decides to now apologize to the Padres and the fans for his PED suspension. Now, this happened during a press, sort of like a press conference, so to speak, yesterday, and he addressed all the issues of him being suspended for half the year. And he went on to say the following, quote, "I'm really sorry for my mistakes. I've seen how my dreams have turned into my worst nightmares. There's no other one to blame than myself. I haven't made the right decisions in the past 2 weeks, months, even the start of the year. I've made a mistake and I regret every single step I have taken." Close quote. Now, I actually applaud this young man because he is actually taking responsibility for his actions. Unlike his father, former Major League Baseball player Fernando Tatis Sr., who wanted to assign blame everywhere else except his 23-year-old shortstop son. It looks like someone is more mature than the other, and it's not the older person. Hopefully, this is a step in the right direction for you, Fernando, and that you can come back, and I think you can appreciate the game better than you have ever had, and you can be the star that you were destined to become. And let's see how you deal with your new teammate Juan Soto, because that was supposed to be the tandem that was going to take you to the promised land this year. Hopefully, it can do so starting next year. Going about 2 hours north, there's a team for sale, and we're staying in Major League Baseball, and that team is the Los Angeles Angels. It just sounds so strange to say Los Angeles and Angels. I'm so used to seeing California. I actually can deal with Anaheim. I'm sorry, soapbox. Artie Moreno is looking to sell the team, or is he looking into selling the team? Now, he announced yesterday that he's initiated a formal process which would result in selling the franchise that he originally purchased 19 years ago. Now, he goes onward to talk about the process in the following manner. Quote, "Although this difficult decision was entirely our choice and deserved a great deal of thoughtful consideration, my family and I have ultimately come to the conclusion that now is the time. Throughout this process, we will continue to run the franchise in the best interest of our fans, employees, players, and business partners." Close quote. According to Forbes, the Angels are now approximately worth over $2.2 billion. And it's unfortunate that I guess you could say the chaotic nature up top is reflecting the chaotic nature on the field, because the team as of late has sputtered so hard, out of control. It's painful to watch. And that's really the best way I can put it. It's unfortunate, but maybe a new voice up top will voice new action down on the field. We'll see. Selling teams normally takes about a year or so in process, but we'll see how it goes from here. And if someone wants to actually buy the Angels, of course, it's in the second largest market in the country. You'll find some buyers. Would you find the right one? That's the question. Going to the NBA, and this is a cute story. The Bucks center Brooke Lopez decided to go to Disneyland. I'm sorry. I find Disney World. I find this hilarious. So he goes to Disney World. He takes his girlfriend with her, goes to Animal Kingdom, and he proposes to her there. Now, I know all the women in the audience is going, "Oh, they're so sweet," and all the guys are saying, "What the heck are you doing, Cole?" But hey, it's a news story. It's a sports guy. It's actually a basketball player proposing. He's taking the next step in life, and we should applaud those things, right? So he visited Animal Kingdom at Disney World roughly 13 years ago. So exactly that date, that is where he proposed to his now fiance. So the couple started off with a romantic dinner at Tiffany's restaurant, and then it was topped off with the proposal. All kidding aside, Brooke, I hope you and your fiance enjoy life. I hope you get to enjoy and love each other, because we believe in love on this show. And hopefully that you play even harder, because you have more to play for coming in the 2023 season. And that concludes today's Whip Around. Today's Whip Around is sponsored by Monkey Night Fight. And before we go to break, I have to do the following. Now betting, smoking all sorts of bongs. Number 420, Wise El Jefe. Number 420. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, brother?
Doing good, man. Doing good. How you doing?
I am well, man. Yesterday was a good day. Went live, had a 6 through, and it was cool.
Nice. All right. So before I head on to break, let me say hello to everybody. Playmakers, man, I love you, Playmaker. Did a wonderful job yesterday, and check out his stuff. I could name it for years. Playmakers Blog Network says, good morning. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Of course, good morning to you, A Pizzle.
Hey, Piz, what up?
Fit Down Sports Show. Of course, that's Chris Dietz. He says, happy Wednesday, everybody. And check out his interview that he had with me on Revelations. It is on YouTube. Wonderful interview. Enjoyed every single second of it. Oh, my gosh. Wonderful nuggets. He says, try to pull a Nolan Ryan throwing a no-hitter. The manager wouldn't be alive. No, he probably would be tossing all sorts of fastballs at him. He also says that's why kickers talking about the Rigoberto Sanchez injury. Should be like the guy from the Replacements and just smoke cigarettes at practice and kick the ball. Yeah. A Pencil says hopefully they'll go back talking about the Angels, going back to being the Anaheim Angels. I hope so too, man. It just
they should be, they're the California Angels.
That too.
They're the California Angels. And
Victor,
morning,
what's up?
everybody.
What's up, Victor? How you doing? Andrew, good morning to you, sir. And before I continue on with the chat, ladies and gentlemen, my partner here, Brian Snow, has joined the twosome. Now it is a threesome. Hope everything is good with you, sir.
Everything's good. Everything's good. Wife's getting better. I ran out and got her and myself some breakfast. So thank you to Casey's gas station nearby. And I'm working on getting them as a sponsor too. So thank you to Casey's, and thank you to everyone that has lifted my wife up in prayer. I appreciate it. So I don't feel sorry for Rigoberto Sanchez.
I don't either. But I know the itch is to be part of the team, and the consensus normally is the punter and the kicker, when you're weaklings, and all you do is just kick balls. So you shouldn't do the rest of that stuff.
Listen,
so I get it,
Sanchez
but you got to take care of your body.
Rigoberto Sanchez tried to be Pat McAfee,
right?
That's all,
and you can't.
That's all I can say.
And you can't.
Nope.
That dude is an athletic marvel that is. It's hard to explain. Oh, A Pistol says, number 420. Victor says, it's the wise man.
What's going on, Victor?
Wise, how are you this morning, my friend?
I am well, brother. I am well. Can't complain.
No complaints here.
Andrew says, you're welcome for sweeping the Mets, A Pizzle. Andrew, A Pizzle appreciates it. If Vila says, hey, Wise, it is Wednesday.
It is.
Yeah, but I broke the rule on Monday. The Just Noise Sports Show joins us, says, good show. Let's network. We shall.
We definitely shall. Thank you for coming on board. We definitely will talk, because it's more than just this show and yours that we will have to be networking for.
Mm-hmm.
A Pizzle says, morning to you, Snowman. The same with Andrew. And Dietz echoes the same sentiments with you. He says, anytime someone says California Angels, I think of Enrico Palazzo and Naked Gun.
See, now I got that thing and I got that theme in my head. Good morning, Victor. Good to
And
have
Victor
you
says
aboard,
the
brother.
Kingpin has arrived. Good morning, Snowman. All
Yeah,
right.
that
So
was one of my first nicknames because whenever I'd go to work and do a game, it was standard shirt and tie and jacket for me.
mm,
So my friend Devin, along with Victor, they all called me the Kingpin. It's one of my
mm.
favorite characters from Daredevil.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a
And
Daredevil character. Yeah.
Michael Clark Duncan, who did a fabulous
Oh, he
job
did a wonderful job with that character.
as the Kingpin.
God love him,
So
rest his soul.
they likened
Yeah.
me to Michael, and of course I was bigger at the time, so
Mhm.
they likened me to Michael Clark Duncan, and my friends just started calling me Kingpin.
Yeah,
So
that's cool. That's
and
cool.
considering my wife has got me a few shirts and ties over the years we've been together, the Kingpin will return, especially when I start doing play-by-play again. And I'll make this announcement. October 15th, I will return to the booth in Greensboro, North Carolina, as I will be one of the announcers for the Edward Waters Sports Network as EWU plays North Carolina A&T. So for the first time since '95, I get to see Aggie Stadium. I'll be in Greensboro, and I might be slipping over to UNCG that weekend to do some work for them. So the travel play-by-play man is here.
Damn!
Congratulations, man.
Congrats, brother.
Thank you.
Now, I was going to go to a commercial break, but instead, since we're going to have at the bottom of the, or a little bit at the bottom of the hour, our man Chris Deese joining us, I think it's time, since it's Wednesday, to do this.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
On your mark, get set, cook.
Now, I will congratulate officially one Mr. LeBron Raymond James for getting the bag. 2 years, $97.1 million extension. But a funny thing happened on the way to getting that bag and having that Brinks truck of almost $100 million being driven to your mansion, sir. You said back in June that you wanted to hold the Lakers' feet to the fire. You said that you wanted to make sure that there was not going to be an extension done until you saw improvements on the team. And the only improvement that I saw that you could have possibly said was made was one Darvin Ham.
Ham. Oh, Ham.
So you get a head coach that carries weight with the players, that seems to also be favorable to the front office. But you had that, and you were going to, and then you have Rasheed Wallace coming to the fold. No, you don't. He wisely saw that train wreck that is the purple and gold and said,
oh, hell no.
It's like, no, ain't had it. So he decided to basically just backdoor his way out, and he wisely is enjoying his retirement. Meanwhile, I'm looking at the team. I'm looking at the expanse landscape of the Lakers, and I see Westbrook still there. I see Davis still there, and probably will still be hurting. I see a couple of players that were on the 2022 squad that is not there now. And I'm not seeing improvements. I'm seeing more of the same. So when you were saying, sir, that you wanted to see marketed improvements, Mr. James, you must have been talking about you wanted to see your wallet improve. And now you have. Congratulations. I'm so happy. Now you have the throng that have their mouths open, their knees to the ground, and their hands on your joystick, all happy.
I'm not singing.
They're all happy and they're sounding like seals because they were really ecstatic that you got your deal. Well, I'm happy you got your deal too because I don't really care about what's in your bag. I only care about what you do on the court. And what you've done on the court has been okay, 38-6 your last year. Nice. And I have heard a lot of these bronze sexuals say that you are something to behold. It is something that we have never seen ever. It is something that is a once in a lifetime moment that nobody has ever and nobody could ever do what you can do, LeBron.
And
which takes me to the guy who Yo Kang is chasing, and that is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He is now 1,300 plus points ahead of Yo Kang for the most prolific scorer in the history of the NBA. So now I take you to him because he has done something that I don't think Yo Kang will do, and that is when he gets to be 38 years, and of course for LeBron, if he were to play in the finals again at 38, he'll be 38 in 5 months. But in the illustrious career of one Kareem, he did this at 38 years and 2 months. He won an NBA championship and was a finals MVP while doing so. So
the year was 1985.
So if you're going to say to me that we have never seen a 37 and now we'll at the turn of the new year we'll be hearing you say 38-year-old do these things that we've never seen before, we have. So don't give me that song and dance. And now that we are at the precipice of LeBron becoming the most prolific scorer in NBA history, you bronze sexuals want to talk out the side of your mouths or the side
your asses,
as my partner took what I was going to say, and opine that once LeBron James becomes the most prolific scorer of all time, that will make him the greatest player in the history of the National Basketball Association.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
And
Bitch, are you for real?
And
You for real?
I just don't understand your logic on brown sexuals. I don't. Because I will pose this question to you. Do you, at this present, consider Kareem Abdul-Jabbar the greatest player in the history of the National Basketball Association simply because he is the most prolific scorer of all time? No, you don't, because you're saying that LeBron is. Now,
your mouth is full.
It's like, go ahead and swallow. Anyway, as I was saying, you all are such hypocrites. So Kareem holds the record. He has held that record for the last 38 years. And you have not even come close to saying that he's the best ever.
Nope.
Not even close. Nope. The reason why I know this is because you all, as bronze sexuals, keep challenging everybody by trying to chop down the tree that is one Michael Jordan, because that's who you are butthurt in having everybody say is the greatest to ever play. He's the greatest I've ever seen play. And I'm not a Bulls fan, and I'm not really a Michael Jordan fan.
Amen.
but he is. However, you all attack him endlessly, and not just the regular rank and file loyal subjects of the court jesters. No, no, you got idiots such as Nick Wright and Shannon Sharp who actually dress up like clowns on TV and tout this guy being the best ever and chopping down things that Michael Jordan has done. Oh, you don't believe me? Well, here's Shannon Sharp doing this already, claiming that we don't see what Michael Jordan has done in the years he did not win a championship, where on this very show, both of us, both Brian and I, two men, we have said the following. Quote, the 6 years before he won his first championship were crucial to the run he made starting in 1991. Close quote.
Find the lie.
So you all continuously chop down Jordan to lift up LeBron. Meanwhile, Kareem, you don't mention his name until LeBron becomes the second most prolific scorer in NBA history. And then when you do mention Kareem's name, it's, well, when he surpasses Kareem.
Oh, geez.
Insulting the fact that Kareem has more championships than Yo Kang. Insulting the fact that Kareem has more MVPs than Yo Kang.
6-4.
Insulting
on both
of those counts. Insulting the fact that he has played more years, at least right now, at current, than Yo Kang.
19-18 or 20-18, I beg your pardon.
And insulting the fact that this guy was a high school legend, a college legend, and an NBA legend, all wrapped into one.
Not one, not two, but 3 NCAA championships under the legendary John Wooden.
Wait, can we add that he had a shot that was unstoppable?
Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned
The
that,
most indefensible shot in history.
I'm so glad you both mentioned that, because I was going to say, oh, and can you say, LeBron, that you had an entity that said, you know what, you have dominated so much this game, we're going to take away something that you do better than anybody else. We're going to take away dunking. Well, that's what they did to Kareem. And Kareem, who was Lou Alcindor at the time, he said, okay, no problem. I won't dunk. What I will do is I will create the most indefensible shot to ever block in the history of the sport.
The sky hook.
And so he won 2 championships before it was outlawed, the dunking, I mean. And what he do? He only lost 1 game and he won another national championship. So
that makes 3 bronzexuals.
So 3 national championships, 6 NBA world championships, and oh, by the way, he only lost 2 games in high school. I don't think Yo Kang can say that he had that great of a career, even in high school.
Did we mention the NCAA and the run he had at UCLA?
Well, yeah, we can't.
Let
me see.
In terms of games won at UCLA, I may be off on this. 88.
I don't think you are. I think it's about right. But can we say that you have a stellar college record, LeBron? No. Can we say that you have in 10 tries won 6 championships in the NBA? No, we can't. But what you can say is, yes, you're the first player to score over 35,000 points, pull down 10,000 boards, and dish out 10,000 dimes. Congratulations. Wonderful statistics, no matter how you slice it. I will never down the guy for having those stats, but bronzexuals, this is where I will down the guy, because I will down him just like you down him. It is stats only. Stats only. And this is supposed to be his era, correct? This is supposed to be the era. Well, riddle me this, Batman. If this is the LeBron James era, why is it that we have another guy who has won just as many championships as he has? In less time, in less trips. And he's not a Robert Horry to a Michael Jordan comparison. This is elite player to elite player. If you can answer that question correctly and not in your feelings and not being Braun all over the place, making us all ill, then I might respect you. Otherwise, any answer that you give me, my retort will be,
Bitch, are you for real?
and then you all get so wet and moist in your pants. It's like you all get moist for some reason. You see that he's going to play in Seattle over the weekend. Oh, Braun is going to play in the crossover. Oh my gosh.
You for real?
This is legendary. This is awesome.
You cannot say filth, flying filth in front of people.
All right. We have a guest that we have to talk to about another subject matter. So I will wrap this up now. And I know you have to get back to basically playing the human vacuum cleaner to LeBron's joystick. Here's how it goes. Yo Kang is flawed. Yo Kang has not measured up. Yo Kang, no matter where he goes, the fact that bronzosexuals are like the Police song "Every Breath You Take," you all are doggone stalkers with this guy. I mean, seriously, it's like every breath you take, every step you make, I'll be watching you. That is how you all are, bronzosexuals. Every step LeBron makes, you're on him. And because of that, and you want to tout how he is off the court and how he is on the court, you merge the two and you say that this is one great human being. Well, okay, fine. But in terms of a basketball player, he's flawed. FLAWED, flawed.
Can I spell another word? FRAUD, fraud. And by the way, this is for you.
And see, that is what I'm talking about. That's a bronzosexual cheerleader right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you all are. And so I will answer this question, and I will keep answering it until he does surpass Kareem. Because unfortunately, unless he dies, and I'm not praying for that, or he gets injured and he cannot play any longer, I'm not praying for that either, he is going to break the record.
Yeah.
Does this mean that when Kareem is surpassed and LeBron has now scored 38,400 points in a career in the NBA, does that mean that he is the greatest player of all time? Not on your life. So to this, I will say the following. LeBron James, the greatest player of all time?
Would you repeat that question, please? Because I have an answer of my own.
No. LeBron James, the greatest player of all time?
Who told this lie? That's for you.
I love that. It's time for you to get out of my going.
And once again, LeBron James, the greatest of all time. Who told this lie?
I'm sorry. Let me do an addendum. Because that statement is an utter blasphemous one. You know, like the ones you was spouting in May, like Giannis losing by 30 in Game 7, and KD getting swept the first round, and Embiid choking in front of a home crowd, and Steph being carried all playoffs long to a Finals MVP and a Conference Finals MVP, and Jokic being bounced to the first round. Because you all want to rush and say, ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James is still the best basketball player in the world.
Who told this lie?
You big dummy.
Behave yourselves.
Get out.
Oh, by the way, stop the cap. Please. And the sexuals, I think this retort will come from Cole and myself and others who actually watch basketball.
I don't remember asking you a thing.
Amen to that.
Oh, one more, and I know I'm going to make my partner smile with this. Hey, yo, Bishop, is LeBron James ever going to be known as the best player in the world?
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. Listen.
Ain't the best player in the world. No, ain't the best. Oh, sorry, my bad. Now you can return to your regularly scheduled joystick sucking. Already in progress. Thirsty heifers.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronsexual Confessions.
Because he changed lives. Not. Yeah, you remember, we're going to have to reprise that conversation.
Oh, we are.
Yes.
We are.
Speaking of conversations, here's Chris, and he's Thor this morning.
Uh-oh. He got the axe.
Always got my axe with me now.
Got the axe.
Good. How you doing, Deeds?
Brother?
Doing well. I haven't transferred anywhere yet, which is a good thing.
That's a very good thing. Are you going to follow the Iowa Hawkeyes this year? Of course you are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nobody covers Iowa football better than the Fifth Down Sports Show. Not even in Des Moines.
No.
We have always it's been a running joke on our show.
Yeah.
Because our very first show, my co-host at the time, we were talking about the Big Ten, and somehow we got to talking about Iowa, and our very first caller called in and got really upset with us for, why are you guys talking about Iowa? And we were like, all right. So from that moment on, Walrus and I were all in Iowa football.
And that's a great thing, because if y'all had a chance to check out Fifth Down Sports Show, as far as the Big Ten goes, Chris and myself follow two teams in the Big Ten that get absolutely no love. One wears black and gold, and the other wears purple.
I was gonna be a tough one this year.
Yeah, they are.
I'm just looking at a lot of doing a lot of my research. They got a favorable schedule.
They do.
They got a schedule in their favor, and a lot of their games at home. And
So you're basically telling me I'm going to be playing the Iowa fight song whenever you come on after a victory.
You're gonna be playing. I mean, it all depends on how week 1 goes.
Right.
Because if my team does what I hope they do, you're gonna have to play the Notre Dame fight song.
Ooh.
If Notre Dame can get by Ohio State,
that's a big if.
Yeah, that's a huge if.
That's a big if.
Playmaker.
Oh,
that I agree. Go ahead.
Yeah,
that's a huge if. But
Iowa needs to finish
for Iowa, I mean, for Iowa, a team that nobody talks about yet, they were in the Big Ten championship game last year,
and
just for reference purposes, they get Michigan at home, they get Northwestern at home, and they get Wisconsin at home.
Oh, wow, that is a favorable schedule.
We got to come to Iowa City.
That's a very favorable schedule.
If there's one team in that bunch that gives Iowa hell in Iowa City, it's Northwestern. Win or lose. Because somehow when Iowa and Northwestern get together, be it in Evanston or be it in Iowa City, it's a fun game.
So you mean to tell me the only rivalry game they have on the road is when they travel to Lincoln? That's the only one?
No,
wow.
They don't travel to Lincoln. They get Nebraska at home too.
They get Nebraska at home too?
They get Nebraska at home to close out the season. The only tough game they have is at Ohio State, but it is coming off a bye.
And that's an interdivision matchup. Chris, I have a present for you. And if y'all paid attention, and Cole, I have a present for you. I am not going to change the time of the show. I just created something called Sitm Plus. Okay. So the interviews that I cut there will remain there. If we got to work them into the show to fill time, so be it. But I had a chance to talk to David Glenn about a certain conference we like to call the ACC. And boy, he had some bits, and he didn't like the division, the elimination of the divisions. Connor O'Neill didn't like it either, because I cut an interview with him, and y'all will hear all that on the Football Friday show, which is going to be a long one. But Chris, they agreed with you basically.
I told you that the minute this thing crossed my desk, I said this is a disaster.
It is to happen. Because now it's going to be who's going to play Clemson.
It's going to be Clemson and a rotating punching bags.
Yeah, it's a rotating schedule.
Yeah,
it's gonna be Clemson and a rotating schedule of who plays in Charlotte for the ACC championship. And God willing,
Clemson, who's going to be their sacrificial lamb in first head in December? Yeah,
and God willing, my health be good enough to travel to Charlotte, because I want to cover the ACC championship. And
even if somebody gets lucky enough, like last year where Wake Forest was able to knock off Clemson, even if you knock Clemson off, they still have a shot to get back in as the number 2 seed.
As the number 2 seed, exactly.
So even if you beat them during the regular season, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it just. These conference championship games lately have proven Dietz's point about the regular season not mattering, especially rivalry games. Because if you look at the Big Ten, if you look at the ACC, if you look at the SEC, the conference championship games doesn't matter.
And it's funny
because how the hell are you going to tell me that? I'll use the SEC as an example, that Alabama, Georgia in Atlanta will have more weight than the college football playoff. Who played for the national championship?
Alabama and Georgia.
Alabama, Georgia. And it's going to be like that. It's going to be like that every year for the SEC. The SEC title game. It does, and look at what happened. Alabama won. Georgia comes back and wins the national championship.
They win the national championship.
They win the national title.
Yep.
They win the national title.
So who cares? Like,
what's the point in having playing the
Because
SEC championship?
if you think about it, and Deets, you said this when the Final Four came. You said this when the Final Four came out. Cincinnati didn't have a chance in hell because they were playing Alabama. They didn't. They did not have a. They did not have a chance in hell, which is totally unfair.
Yeah, we all said they were going to be the 4th seed.
Yeah, we all saw that.
Yeah.
Cincinnati runs the table, okay, and they get the number 4 seed. Who wrote that? You know what? Cincinnati runs the table, and they get the number 4 seed. Who told this lie? It's all lies, man. It's all. And money based.
And thank you. I was going to say, it's all, and it's not just simply money that a program makes. It's money that the NCAA brand thinks a program is going to make. And so, since Cincinnati has not been on a big stage before like this, they say, well, they're a mid-major school. Okay, so we're not going to fully respect the fact they went undefeated throughout their regular season, because that doesn't carry as much weight as, say, I don't know, a team in the SEC who runs through that table or loses a game, because they basically will punch each other silly. And that's the best brand of football in college football anyway. And it draws money. That's how they think. It traditionally draws money, but they've had decades to do this. Meanwhile, Cincy has built their way up to this status now. And it could be Cincy. It could be like it was 5 years ago, Central Florida. It could be 10 years ago, Boise State. It doesn't matter. A mid-major that rises itself up and
TCU from the same.
We talked about this last time I was on the show. Just think about this for a minute. Georgia wins the national championship. Number one team in the country. They lose the most players to the NFL draft in the history of the NFL draft.
They almost lose their whole defense.
They lose the most players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
They drop 3 spots.
Cincinnati
loses.
They drop 2 spots. They number 3.
Cincinnati loses 5 players, and granted, they lost the quarterback, wide receiver, the 2 stud corners.
Yeah,
but most of their team is coming back. Their entire offensive line's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
most of their running backs are coming back.
Yep.
They have not only do they have a quarterback who is a senior, so it's not like he hasn't been there. He's been there. It's just Desmond Ritter's been playing.
Right.
So they have a senior quarterback, and they fall from 4 to 23.
Because they don't care.
This doesn't make any sense.
Don't care about Cincinnati and where they finished.
Without playing a single game.
Right.
The last time we saw them, they were losing to Alabama, but they weren't getting trounced by Alabama.
No.
They were in that game in the third quarter. In the third quarter, it was still a game.
There were teams in SEC that wish they could lose 24-6 to them. So
Ohio. Meanwhile, Ohio State.
What was it? 10 to 6
Ohio
in the
State
third
had
period?
to come back. Had to have a comeback win in the Rose Bowl against Utah.
Against against.
And they jumped to number 2 in the preseason poll.
I mean, say that again.
Ahead of Michigan, who won the Big Ten, has everyone coming back, and has the best player, has the most athletic player in the country on their team in Blake. And Michigan drops and Ohio State goes up, because the last time we saw Ohio State, they were winning a game and Michigan was losing to Georgia. This is why the preseason poll makes absolutely no sense.
None.
It's why it's useless. It's why it's worthless. But
and Deets, I like your suggestion of not having a poll until like what, week 4?
no, I don't do a poll until about week 4 when I've seen all the top teams, when I've seen them all play twice, because I'm not going to judge them on their first game. I'm not going to tell you a team is bad coming off their first game. I'm not going to tell you a team is great coming off their first game. When you're great and when you're bad is when the process duplicates itself.
And how can you judge these teams?
You can't judge college kids coming off one game,
right? Because most of them will be playing the big time programs will be playing cupcake schools anyway.
Yeah,
that they throw $1 million or $2 million just so they have the privilege of being skunked by 60. I mean, you
bring that up. You bring that up. Think about just think about this for a minute and think. I've said this. And it's going to get worse when they expand the play. When they expand the playoffs, it's going to get even worse. But think about this for a minute: Ohio State versus Notre Dame opening weekend.
Mm-hmm.
If you had said that 10 years ago, it would be the biggest game. It would be the game of the century.
Yes, but now
to open the season. But now it doesn't make a difference. If Ohio State loses, they still can run through the Big Ten and still make it to the playoff.
That's all they would have to do.
And if
Notre Dame loses, they still have Clemson later on in the year on the schedule. And if they win that, they win against USC, they win against North Carolina.
If I'm not mistaken, Notre Dame is
still going to be in the mix after this game.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Notre Dame would be still in the mix if they lose 2 games and they can still be in the playoff.
Yes, because A, money, and B, Notre Dame is Notre Dame.
It depends on who those 2 losses are and how those 2 losses. And by that I mean if they lose to Ohio State, but it's a close game, that's a win for Ohio. That's a win for Notre Dame. That's a Notre Dame. If Notre Dame keeps it under, I don't know what the spread is on the game. If Notre Dame keeps it within the spread, if they win the spread, they win the game. They walk away from that game. They walk away from that game a winner.
Better.
Who has
the same thing? The same thing when they play Clemson later on. If they don't get blown out, as long as they don't get blown out in either of those games, they're still going to be in the race.
Right.
Who has the call for that game? Which station has the call for that game?
That I don't know. I would I would assume that's on. I would assume that's on ABC.
Is it in South Bend or it's in the Horseshoe?
It is at Ohio State.
Then ABC would have it.
It's in the
let me. ABC would have it. Yeah.
So
unlike the other shows, when something comes up, we do our research live. Okay, we have an answer. It is ABC, and it's in Columbus. Thank you, Playmaker. Thank you, Playmaker. Thank you, Playmaker. See, unlike the other shows, Fit Down Sports Show, Snowman in the Morning, YSL Hefe, we actually do our research. And Chris, like me, is a research madman, to be prepared. And I had someone ask me, and we got to go to a break here in a moment. I had someone ask me, why do you read so much when you prepare for a game? One, it's my job. And 2, I want to be ready.
And two, you can get some of the most amazing stuff from reading. And I'll give you one of the best. One of the best in the business, the best troller in the business, Lane Kiffin.
Oh Lord,
yeah.
Lane Kiffin hits the transfer portal, and where does he grab his quarterback from? You guessed it, USC.
Mm-hmm.
He grabs Jackson Dart, the USC quarterback, grabs him in the transfer portal. That is the essential Lane Kiffin. That's why I love Lane Kiffin. Just absolutely trolling his old schools.
Love it. Love it. And the Playmaker will talk college football tonight. I may have to join you.
That's must viewing. That's must see TV for real.
It really is. And today at 3 p.m. on Snowman in the Morning Plus, I'll have Scoop Miller with me to talk Big Ten football. We're gonna break it down, and then on another edition of SITM Plus, I'll bring Deets in, and we'll break college football down. Let's go to a break. Deets, thank you very much for joining us. Very much appreciated. I will talk to you soon so I can bring you on the Plus.
Always. And of course, we will be talking college football tomorrow on Fifth Down Sports Show. We will be breaking down the Pac-12, the Big 12, and the ACC all in one shot, so that next week we can do the big dogs. We can do the SEC and the Big Ten, and we can talk about national championships, and as I call it, the SEC Big Ten Invitational.
Big Ten Invitational,
yeah.
And that's all it is. For those of you that are taking Fifth Down Sports Show on the go, you can pick it up on the SDM Sports Network as well, and that will be live, as Dietz's show is now a proud member of the SDM Sports Network.
Awesome.
All right, thank you, Dietz. Love you, brother.
All right,
thank
guys.
you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good one, guys.
You too, brother.
To a break, and then I have a confession of my own. Hour 2 begins after the break.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Have you had a chance to visit the Snowman in the Morning shop yet? You haven't? Then what are you waiting for? Go to officialsitmorn.com, check out the shop when you type in the word shop, and you'll see things like, a coffee mug that's available, a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, and a whole lot more. And while you're buying items from the Snowman in the Morning shop, you can support the Snow Strong Carolina mission. We got a lot to do and a short time to get there. Go to officialsitmorn.com/shop. Check out all of the gear and wear the same gear that the crew wears. And when you're doing that, tell them Snowman sent you.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Jordan Alvarez, and it's caught. Deebo Samuel with the catch. Michael Jordan can sense it.
The Fro just got the king.
BS3 Network.
The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Hey everybody, Snowman here, and thanks for listening to this episode of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Want to tell you about a little thing we like to call Monkey Knife Fight. Wait, what? What in the world is that, you may ask? Well, Monkey Knife Fight is a daily fantasy site where you can play your favorite games, support your favorite players, and make money at the same time. And right now, if you go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman, you will get a 100% deposit match on up to $100 on your initial deposit. Go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman for an up to 100% deposit on your first deposit of up to $100. Thanks, and tell them Snowman sent you.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Official SIT Morn is the ID that you need. That's official SIT Morn with Wise, with Cole. I'm Brian, and Playmaker says his show starts at 7 p.m. Playmaker, I have an offer for you. I want to carry that on SDM Sports Network, audio only. So what say you, my friend? What say you? All right. It is time for the second hour of this program. And it begins right about now.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
And they give those guys a little extra weight. Roger Craig still on his feet, still running. What a run by Roger Craig. You'll never see a better one than that. From 46 yards. He has that thing of getting those knees high and keeping the shoulders low. And he makes every team look like they're bad tacklers. Watch the way he gets that high knee action, keeps those feet going like two pistons. Then, at the same time that the knees are going high and keeping going, the shoulder can get low to take on a tackler.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Gee, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait. Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
Yeah, I believe it. It's hour 2 with Wise. Cole had to step away for the rest of the show. Snowman here with you, and a bit of sad news just crossed our desk. Super Bowl MVP and Hall of Fame quarterback Len Dawson has passed away at the age of 87. That just crossed our desk right now. Rest in peace, Len Dawson, the original number 16. Before Joe Montana carried that number with such grace, Len Dawson did the same thing. So condolences to his family, and rest in power, Len Dawson. Rest in power. All right, I got a short whip around for you. Hour 2 whip around starts like this. As I just mentioned, Len Dawson, Hall of Fame quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, led them to a victory in Super Bowl IV over the Minnesota Vikings, passes away at the age of 87. Condolences to his family. Rest in power, Len Dawson. So the New York Liberty surprised the Chicago Sky in Game 1. Well, that pissed them off because they routed the Liberty by 38 points in Game 2 and closed them out in Game 3 to move on to the WNBA semifinals as they continue to defend their championship as they win over New York 90-72 and close out that series. They will await the winner of Dallas and Connecticut, and I smell a rematch with the Connecticut Sun. Last but not least, to touch a point that we talked about on Monday, Sue Bird is calling it a career after this season. And I have loved watching Sue Bird play at Connecticut and also in the WNBA. She is closing out her 20th and final season in the WNBA. And I will say this about the WNBA. In fact, I'll put this in a take later on today. They need better marketers. You want to put some asses in the seats? Get some better marketers. Get some better people that will talk NBA, and bring the Snowman aboard as a play-by-play announcer. I'll team up with Cole and we'll do the game of the week And I bet you we'll bring in more ratings than the crews they have now. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that because I know I'm damn good at what I do. And I'm going to be healthy enough to get it done. That's the hour 2 whip around. Okay, I got that off my chest. How you doing, Wise?
I'm doing good. I just want to let
go ahead.
Fifth Down Sports know that if I can help them with anything, just reach out to me.
Yeah, we will help you, Chris. We will help you. And what I'm gonna do, if y'all play nice, beginning Monday, I'll drop the StreamYard link in the chat so people can come up and chat with us. We'll do that for a segment, test it out, see how it goes, because I'm still toying with the idea of expanding the show, but making the first 2 hours, as Cole and Wise have suggested, all taped segments, so we can get everything in. And I want to work a fan chat segment into the show as well. So if y'all in the chat will play nice, I might even test it today. I'll drop the link in the chat and have some people come up. All right. Now it's my turn to do this.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
All right. Brace yourselves, because I'm going to cuss a lot. And when I say I'm going to cuss a lot, I mean just that. Because as the perusal of social media was going on, something found me. There was a picture of LBJ and his performances in games 5, 6, and 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals. And his stats are there also. And then, where is it? There it is. And then there is this caption. Quote, Jordan overrated ass could never. Pippen won those championships. You can't think of Jordan without thinking of Pippen. LeBron stands alone. A true warrior. Jordan got carried. Close quote. I'll read that last part again. Quote. Jordan got carried. Close quote. Since Lester Gray wants to put Jordan down, as we discussed earlier in the show, I will pose this question. Are you out of your rabbit-ass rat-picking mind? Got carried? Really? Hey, Pizzle, I love your question. What in the actual fuck are you talking about? You want these people want LeBron to stand alone in his victories, but they say nothing about all the L's he took, regular season, playoffs, and finals.
They don't count the losses.
Of course,
That's
they don't.
that's the only thing I could think of. That's the only thing I could think of. The man has lost more finals than he has won, right? I think that's correct,
4
right?
and 6.
4 and 6, right?
4 and 6.
Okay. All right. I just asking.
Mm-hmm. You're right. And that's fact. That's not hyperbole, folks. That's fact. They always prop up LeBron while holding his joystick in his wins, but don't say a word about his losses. Which brings me to a point I discussed earlier in the week when someone said Steph and Bron are overrated, but at least Bron has proven more. I'll say that again. And I'll do it the right way. Quote. Steph and Bron are the most overrated players in any era, but at least Bron has proven more. Close quote. To the person who said that, my retort is,
you're a stupid dumbass.
And I also would like to thank
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Stupid. I decided to jump in and I said Steph has done more in 13 years than Bron has done in 19. And of course I got cussed out. I don't care. But this post right here, and of course the NBA updates is the original. After being down 3-1 in the finals, LeBron James completely took over. And the words took over are in capital letters. Really? This is after LeBron dry snitched like the bitch that he is to the NBA about Draymond Green because LeBron James was getting worked over by Draymond Green and the Warriors defense. So LeBron figures divide and conquer, take Draymond Green out of the equation, and ask that. Fool. And then LeBron gets worked over in 2017 and 2018. But we're focusing on this idiotic post from 2016. 41 points, 27 points. And of course, Game 7 just had to be a triple-double. So he can be known as one of the players who closed out Game 7 with a triple-double. Well, newsflash, bronze sexuals. Someone did it before him. His name? James Worthy. And some of these comments. Oh my God, look at LeBron. Matter of fact, let me read this. Let me read some of these comments. Mac Mall says, GOAT. Nick Alexson, if you got down 3-1 in the finals, you've led your team to 3 losses. Jordan never did that in the finals. Fact. EM, LaFraud, a warrior, a guy who's a good actor, small touch and falls after a lightning strike, also travels a lot, is not even close to MJ with 82 games played in the season, left team in trouble many times, doesn't have so many trophies as MJ. Also, is there a player who dominated basketball as MJ? When you listen to Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Akeem Olajuwon, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, and many others, MJ is beyond anybody, period. Thank you for that comment. He stands alone, but you'll bring up Kyrie, Byron Kibble says, quote, he stands alone, but you will bring up Kyrie and love being hurt for the reason he lost in 2015. Game 6, Jermaine Kobe Bean. Game 6 of the 98 finals, Jordan had 45 points. Pippen had 8 points. LBJ extremes have 0 logic. And yes, that 5-letter word appears again. Logic, or lack thereof in this case, with these stupid backwards bronze sexuals. These Bron cheerleaders. Who told this lie that Bron is the greatest of all time? All these cheerleaders, and what did that get you? Not a damn thing. You want to make Bron the greatest, as my partner Cole Johnson talked about earlier in the show, because this season unless a major injury happens, and I'm not wishing that on anybody. I'm not wishing that on anybody, including LeBron. He will surpass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the most prolific scorer of all time. And that's all he will be known as to me, the most prolific scorer of all time. Because as soon as he has that record, I'm going to throw up. And the reason I'm going to throw up is because these bronze sexuals will hail him as their king and the greatest of all time, and I'm going to throw up. And these bronze sexuals are completely
Tone dead.
Riddle me this, bronze sexuals. If LeBron is such a great player, if LeBron is supposedly the greatest of all time, why does he have a losing record in the finals? Why has he been swept not once, but twice in the World Championship Series? 2007, 2018. You got an answer for me? No? Okay, good. Maybe that'll teach y'all a lesson about who the greatest really is. You say everything and try to chop Jordan down, as my partner Cole referenced earlier, but you say nothing when it comes to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. You say nothing. Oh, you say something about Larry Bird. Larry Bird is slow, but I'll tell you what, I bet you Larry Bird will work LeBron over in the post. One good shove and Brown will go flying into the second row trying to draw an offensive foul. Meanwhile, Bird is kissing the ball off the glass into the bucket. You can't pit LeBron against Magic Johnson because all Magic Johnson has to do is turn on the eyes in the back of his head and see somebody flying back door over his head and to the bucket. You certainly can't talk about LeBron being better than one Julius Irving because because Julius will fly over him. And besides, Julius has bigger hands than LeBron. Nah, which gives Julius Irving a lot more control of the ball. And by the way, Julius Irving has something LeBron James has never had in 20 years. Know what that is? A jump shot. Matter of fact, Julius Irving closed out Game 4 of the 83 World Championship Series with a jump shot over Magic Johnson. A pair of legends, and Julius won. You can't put LeBron against Scottie Pippen. And this is one of the points that really pissed me off. Pippen carried the Bulls to those finals victories. So eschewing the point that Michael Jordan averaged 41 points a game in 1993 and has the highest scoring average in NBA finals history. Am I wrong, Wise?
No, you're absolutely right.
Did I tell a lie anywhere in that statement?
No, you did not.
I will say it again, bronze sexuals. MJ in 1993 averaged 41 points per game. And y'all want to bring up the fact that LeBron had back-to-back 40-point games in the finals. I know something MJ has done in the playoffs LeBron has never done. And it ain't back-to-back 40-point games. It's back-to-back 50-point games. The year was 1988, MJ's first MVP year. Playing the Cleveland Cavaliers. Both games are in Chicago Stadium when this feat happened. On Thursday, MJ scored 50. And on Sunday, MJ scored 55. There are some bronze sexuals that want to prop up LeBron by his joystick after the performance he had in Game 1 of the 2018 NBA Finals. Oh, my Lord, LeBron scored 51 points. By the way, that 1993 NBA Finals series, Game 4, MJ dropped a double nickel. Want to know what that means? 55 points. And there's a big difference between LeBron scoring 51 in Game 1 in 2018 and MJ scoring 55 in Game 4 in 1993. Know what that difference is? Oh, two big differences. The first one is this. LeBron needed overtime to score 51 points. MJ scored all 55 against the Phoenix Suns in regulation. And the second thing, know what that 51 points led to for LeBron in 2018 in Game 1? A fat ass L. A big, stupid, fat ass L. And y'all think he's the greatest? He meaning LBJ. You stupidly think that he's the greatest. When in my eyes, for 20 years, he's had the NBA by the balls, by the throat, pinned to a wall, duct taped to a chair, tied up, and any other metaphor you can think of. And hasn't done a damn thing with it. Nothing. I'll say it again. LeBron James for 20 years, and this includes the high school year where ESPN was sucking his joystick and showing all his games from St. Vincent St. Mary, has had the NBA by the balls, by the throat, handcuffed, duct tape, pinned to a chair, pinned to a wall, tied to a chair, shackled, and hasn't done a damn thing with it for 20 years. And to you Johnny come lately bronzexuals that want to express your opinion without doing any research, we don't find them, they find us. And then there's Robert Horry. As I read this, there's a post by a court session that reads, "The greatest winner since Bill Russell speaks, Jordashians cry." Robert Horry said, quote, "I think we should take him into a lab, dissect him, and figure out what he's made of because he's unreal. If anybody ever says anything bad about LeBron, there's something wrong with them." Close quote. Well, Robert Horry, I'm saying a lot of things bad about LeBron, but they're all facts. He flops. He has no jumper. He has no post game. He has no footwork. There's my quick dissection of him. I would love to have seen Patrick Ewing work over LeBron James in the post. Hell, to be perfectly honest, and I'll make Wise smile with this, I'd love to see Dennis Rodman work over LeBron James in the post. I'd love to see the late Bill Cartwright work over LeBron James in the post. And we all know Bill Cartwright and Patrick Ewing had some legendary battles when they met in the playoffs. A couple of good elbows from Bill Cartwright. You ain't getting up. In short, Yo Kang is a fraud. Yo Kang is a flopper. Chicken Wing James has no jump shot, no form whatsoever. And Liscardy Cat has no idea what it's like to be in the post on a nightly basis. And they want to hail this guy as the greatest of all time? Get the hell out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronzexual Confessions.
A quick break, and then Wise and I will go into the Fanatics feedback zone because there were some great comments during that edition of the Bronzexual Confessions. And Wise, I want to know where you got that chair from, because I got to find one for my tall ass. Back after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast.
For Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Jordan Alvarez, and it's caught. Deebo Samuel with the catch. Michael Jordan can sense. The throw just got the king.
BS3 Network.
The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Hey everybody, Snowman here, and thanks for listening to this episode of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Want to tell you about a little thing we like to call Monkey Knife Fight. Wait, what in the world is that, you may ask? Well, Monkey Knife Fight is a daily fantasy site where you can play your favorite games, support your favorite players, and make money at the same time. And right now, if you go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman, you will get a 100% deposit match on up to $100 on your initial deposit. Go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman for an up to 100% deposit on your first deposit of up to $100. Thanks, and tell them Snowman sent you.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter Instagram thing or whatever the heck. You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
With the man they call Wise, W-I-Z-E, I am the Snowman here, and I love how you do that intro. I am your host, W-I-Z-E. Sounds like a radio station, man. It does. But it's terrific. You do a great job with your show. I'm very proud of you. And
Thank you. I appreciate it. And actually, yesterday. I went live with a guest. It was a pretty cool show. Six stopped by. I had a couple other people stop by. So doing this show has actually.
I've caught you live. I've caught you live a couple of times.
I've done them. Like me and me and Cole show was live. Me and Bay show was live.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm transitioning.
Those two shows were hella hilarious. Okay.
Oh, I had a great time. But now I'm looking forward to transitioning to actually doing all my shows live.
Sweet.
That way I can interact with people who want to come on and watch and stuff like that. So I had Sick on yesterday. He made some great comments, and I had a pretty interesting guest. She was cool, and it was a good time. But
very good.
Just doing this show here has shown me that interacting with your audience is big. Like, it can really help you grow as a podcaster, producer, everything, because you get to really know what they want to hear, you get to see, they get to ask questions. And that's what I want, is to be able to interact with my audience, because without them, there is no show.
True. And that's why I love doing this show live. The interaction is terrific, and having brothers like you as one of the co-hosts of this program, as one of the co-pilots of this program, has been absolutely wonderful. It's been terrific, and man, I love you. I love having you on. It just enhances everything.
I appreciate it, man.
I mean that from the heart. When I brought Cole aboard, I knew I made the right decision with that, and having you just enhances everything. And doing this show live with you and with Cole, you don't know what moments will happen. I mean, hell, my set crashed live on air one Friday.
It happens, man. It happens.
It does happen. It does happen. All right, let's go to the Fanatics feedback zone, because there were some great comments during the Broad Sexual Confessions. We'll start up here with Victor Locke. We're all behaving ourselves. Well, no, you're not. And I love when y'all misbehave. Ooh, here we go again, says Andrew. Victor says, Snowman cook. Oh, yeah, I'll be cooking. And I got to get in the lab. Playmaker says he's got to get in the lab. I got to get in the lab myself. And I'm learning a lot more about video editing and how to put a video podcast together. And man, it's been an education. But what I'm going to do is switch up what I use to do my video editing. We'll see how that goes. Underrated Darkness checking us out says, good morning, Ryan. And I got a conversation with Underrated Darkness coming up tomorrow at 4:05 on his channel. So go subscribe to his channel as you do mine. A Pizzle says, ooh, here we go. Part 2. You better believe it. Victor Locke, and I said this during the confession, Braun stood alone in all his L's. Yeah, but Bronze sexuals don't want to say that aloud. And I asked that question too from A Pizzle. Victor Locke says these are the same people who complain he needs help and he can't do it alone when he loses. How true is that? You never heard Michael Jordan complain about being alone. He just he just wanted it so bad. And the teammates he had around him, took a while longer to rise up to his level. I mean, you're talking about a guy, Michael Jordan, who punched Steve Kerr who punched Steve Kerr. He punched him.
Steve Kerr actually said he deserved it. I guess he said it kind of.
And what happened in Game 6 of the finals that year? He looked right at Steve and says, when Stockton comes off, and Steve didn't even allow him to complete a sentence, he says, I'll be ready. And Steve knocked it down. Underrated Darkness, Space Jam, La Bum. Ain't that I will not put my eyes on Space Jam 2 ever. I don't care how cheap it winds up being, and it was a cheap production from some of the previews I saw. Andrew, one more time, bronzexual cheerleaders, laugh out loud, pathetic, very pathetic. And I think this is the comment of the day from Fit Down Sports, aka Chris Dietz. These bronzexuals make the She-Hulk writing staff look like Nobel Prize winners.
Wow. Wow.
Victor Locke coupled it, says absolutely right, Chris. And then Victor Locke says the only crown chicken wing will deserve is the one from a Burger King Kismet. Where's your crown, King? Nothing. That's for you, Victor. Ben Sutterth in the house. Good morning, Snowman. Good morning to you, Ben. Good morning,
Ben.
And we love the people that join us in the chat. And like I said, I want to design a fan chat segment where I release, like I take a break and I release the link for folks to come up, and for a segment I'll have them up on the show. A Pizzle says good morning to BS3. So does Andrew. Underrated Darkness says I'm back. During the confession, he says facts, and I love you for that. That No One Cares video is my favorite. Thank Cole Johnson for that. Thank Cole Johnson for that. I asked if I did okay during that bronzexual confession. I said, did I do good in that bronzexual confession? Andrew says A+. Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Victor Locke says number 1. Thank you very much. LeBum, whoever played with him had to change their game. Stars before him, never. Facts also, stars from before make others better. And LeBron hasn't done that. I said it. LeBron hasn't made teams better. In fact, he's destroyed them. Victor Law says, never watched Space Jam 2 and never will, nor will I. I can't put my eyes on that. When the news first came out that they were making Space Jam 2, and then I was informed who was the star of Space Jam 2, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Did I see the first Space Jam? You better believe I did.
A bunch of times.
Same. I saw it live I saw it in the theater the night it came out, and then the next night we went again. Hey, what do you want? I got the night off. I don't have a game to call. Let's go see Space Jam. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I did.
And I'm not even a Jordan fan. I'm not. He tortured me. It was torture.
Torture?
So, yeah. I'm a Knicks fan, so of course it was torture for me. So,
but see, is Mike Walszewski still the PA man at the Garden?
I don't know.
Or do they rotate now?
Who knows?
Because when the first Knicks game I watched on television, there was a fellow named John Condon who was the PA announcer there. And he would always do something like, and now here they are, the New York Knickerbockers. He would always say Knickerbockers. And then Condon passed away in 1990, and Mike Walszewski became the PA announcer. And I love the way that he developed his personality on the mic, and the way he would say, Patrick Ewing. Got me going. I love those Knicks intros from the late.
Yeah, I remember that.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Patrick always had his.
Yeah.
Always had that unique way of saying Patrick Ewing coming in. Yeah.
Another favorite of mine that I love Mike Walszewski playing as a PA announcer, when Allen Houston was a member of the Knicks, he would go, Allen Houston. At guard at 6'6" from Tennessee, number 20, Allen Houston.
That was, to me, one of the greatest signings the Knicks ever did was
Allen
that
Houston.
year. Yeah.
And thank you, Knicks, for 1999 for beating the Miami Heat on their floor. And who hit the game winner? Allen Houston. And when he let it go, I thought, There's no way that ball's going to go in. He got the right bounce, and it fell.
Yes, it did.
He got the right bounce, and it fell. That year, I ran into a bunch of Indiana Pacer fans because they were the number 1 seed and said, we're going to walk all over everybody. I said, I bet you won't beat the Knicks because the Knicks find a way to torture you. And they said, well, we got Reggie Miller. Okay. And then Patrick Ewing got injured, and I thought, oh, hell.
Everybody thought that.
Yes. Yes.
Marcus Camby showed up. Latrell Sprewell was big.
Camby. Love Marcus Camby from his days at Massachusetts.
Of course, Allen Houston was big. And again, it was a squad that you were missing your star player in Patrick Ewing. So
But did he rupture? He ruptured his Achilles that year, didn't he?
No, it was his wrist.
It was his wrist. It was his wrist.
He got hit and he landed on his wrist, and then that was technically that was like basically his end of his Knicks career because eventually he got traded to Seattle.
He didn't come back after that.
Yeah,
but what a Hall of Famer, Patrick Ewing. I loved I loved Patrick Ewing from his days at Georgetown. And when the Knicks got him, that was a perfect pick for them. Although there's a hell of a conspiracy theory behind it. I'm at this point, who cares? Patrick Ewing was the perfect pick for the Knicks, period. Because he wouldn't have fit anywhere else. He wouldn't have fit anywhere else. He belonged in a Knicks uniform.
It's just like certain players you already know that they need to be in a certain uniform.
Yep.
And they were meant to be in
1984, the Portland Trailblazers messed up.
You mean Kevin Duckworth?
Sam Bowie.
Oh, Sam Bowie. Yes, Sam Bowie and Jordan went. Yeah.
So when I heard the Bulls pick Michael Jordan, like Patrick Ewing with the Knicks, it was a perfect match.
Yeah.
It was a perfect match. Underrated darkness in the house. Picture Bernard King wouldn't get hurt. He would play with Patrick Ewing. What could have been? Yeah, because instead of a passing of the torch, imagine those two playing together a few years.
Because when Bernard came back, he had a couple of great years in Washington. So
yeah, he did. But I always will remember Bernard King with the Knicks.
Of course, yes.
I always remember Bernard King with the Knicks, and he gave the Boston Celtics the business in 1984 in that playoff series. He gave them the business.
He actually gave a lot of people the business.
Yeah, he did. He did. And by the way, one of my final notes to Bronze Sexuals, a guy that played forward better than LBJ, Bernard King. Why? Because Bernard King had a mid-range game.
Bernard King was a beast.
Yes, he was. Got a Twitch follower. Hey, good morning, Michael 11906. Good morning, Michael. Thanks for joining, man. Thanks for joining. Who else was on that 85 Knicks team? Bernard King, but he was injured. Patrick Ewing. They had some guy named James Bannister, and I remember this from the Christmas Day game they played against Boston when they were down by 25 points. I have this game somewhere in my files. They were down by 25 points, and they won that in double overtime.
Wow!
And that was a Christmas Day game. Here's a memory for you. Remember that 5-game series in '84 against the Detroit Pistons? All you have to see in that series was Game 5. And they played that at Joe Louis Arena because there was a conflict with the Silverdome. I bet you any kind of money, if there was no conflict with the Silverdome for Game 5, Pistons Knicks in '84, they'd have drawn at least 60,000 in that place. Easy. I loved watching games at the Silverdome because I wanted to see how big the crowd could get. They did have Bill Cartwright in '85. Yes. And here's a name for you, Rory Sparrow. Rory Sparrow. I remember him because he was a Bull for 2 years. I want to say '87 and '88. Rory Sparrow was was with the Bulls, and then the Bulls started remaking the roster after they drafted Pippen in '87, along with Horace Grant. Then along came B.J. Armstrong, and MJ started to trust his teammates more at that time. Were you at that Christmas Day game in '85? Like I said, I have that game somewhere, but I remember the fans were booing the Knicks after getting down 25, and then all of a sudden they get one bucket and there's this Bronx cheer, and then the Knicks just got going. They started their comeback, and there was 2 seconds left in the third quarter. And then there was a long pass to James Bannister, who got fouled. Then he turned around and threw it up, and it went in. And it's like, okay, they're going to come back and win this game. And they did. And, you know who else was on the Knicks at the time? Trent Tucker.
Ooh, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Where's your mic? Is your mic on the boom, or are you on the desk?
It's on the desk.
It's on the desk?
Yeah.
I like the boom mic.
I like my boom. It's just that it kind of fell, so I gotta.
Oh, it kind of went splat.
Yeah, it's I guess the mic was a little too heavy for it. And
What brand of mic do you have? Because I want to copy that.
Oh, the audio. This is easy. Audio Technica BP40.
Okay. I got to price that, and that maybe will be a late football season acquisition for me, because there's a lot of equipment I'm trying to get, especially after I make my trip to North Carolina in October, because I want to see Joshua's setup, and I want to try to copy it and try to make mine better. The first thing I'm going to purchase is a new Rode mixer, because the one I had for the studio will not allow me to record audio on my computer. And I can't have that. This one that I know, I have a weird situation, but where'd you get that chair and how much?
Amazon, and I think I paid like something for it.
Okay.
But listen, me being a big guy, I had to make sure I had it can hold the weight.
I get it. So I get it. Even though I'm under 300 pounds, I am still tall. I am still 6'5", and I got to have a neck rest, and I got to have a little more cushion underneath.
Because if I've fallen asleep here plenty of times.
I understand. What's the brand of that chair? What's the brand of that chair? Okay. And I gotta search for mine, because like I said, I'm under 300 pounds, and I'm under 250 because of my surgery. But I'm putting some weight back on, and I gotta have some cushion underneath, because I don't want to fall on this chair and I get up and my ass hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I making sense here? Because you and I are both in the lab a lot, and if we sit too long, the posterior is going to start crying, and I can't have that. Michael joining us on Twitch. Are y'all ready for football season? Yeah, you better believe it, man.
Yes, we are.
Mike, who's your team? We'll ask that question before you go. Matter of fact, to everybody in the chat, who's your team? Who are you cheering for this football season, in this NFL season? This guy over here loves the big blue. This guy over here loves the big blue. Me, yes. I'm a 49er fan. There's two teams in our household. Wife loves the Colts, and I love the 49ers. So we watch both games all year. A Pizzle says Dolphins. Michael says the Steelers. I have a question for Mike. Do you think Kenny Pickett will get the starting job week 1, or will they go another way?
He looks real good, though.
Yeah, he does. I think Pickett will beat out Trubisky and get the nod for week 1.
I would like for Minshew to get a job somewhere. If it's not with the Steelers, get a job somewhere, because I feel Trubisky has the talent.
Mitch Trubisky got screwed in Chicago.
He performed in Chicago with the minimum possible. Like he had Allen Robinson, and probably that's it. He didn't have anything else.
Mitch got screwed by Matt Nagy and the Bears.
Yes.
Because if Matt Nagy wasn't the coach, Trubisky would still be there. He'd be the starting quarterback, and he would have led the Bears to a couple of more playoff spots. Big Blue for Andrew, the New York Football Giants. Underrated Darkness says the Jets. Victor says, due to obligations, I got to go with Dallas, but I'm also looking forward to see what the Niners do. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it all. Michael says, it'll be Mitch, although I want Kenny. I kind of agree with that. I want to see Kenny get the start week 1 and just have him go through what Peyton Manning went through, what Joe Montana went through, a baptism by fire, and see what he does with the NFL. Ryan McCarthy does this. I don't have to say it aloud, and I won't say it aloud. I've been a longtime Cowboys fan, says Victor, so I can't stop. But see, Victor,
unfortunately for you, Victor.
Wait a minute.
Unfortunately for you.
But Victor is a Cowboy fan that has sense.
And you can't say that very often.
No, you can't. Ben comes on every Friday to talk Cowboys.
I love Ben.
He's
yes, it's this, and of course Ken Dawkins. But
Yep.
I told you about my cousin, the Cowboy fan, and what he
the
said.
delusional Cowboy fan.
Well, again, I don't, for y'all that missed it. I love you, Marvin. You're my cousin. I love you and everything. But he put a meme up, and he goes, "Oh, Dallas has more Super Bowls than the Giants and Eagles combined."
But
and I had to remind him.
that number's even.
That the
That
Giants
that
have
number's
4
even.
Super Bowls, and the Eagles have 1.
That's
that
5.
would mean 5, and that's what Dallas has.
That would mean 5 apiece.
So he is a special Dallas fan.
I don't have to ask how special just with that meme alone.
He's special.
D.
I love
Scott
him,
catching us on the back end. Good morning to you. Fit Down Sports says Mike Tomlin isn't going to go with a rookie over a veteran guy. Yeah. Tomlin is what's this for Tomlin? His 15th year? Somebody in the chat correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is Tomlin's 15th year with the Steelers. You know, when they hire coaches, they stick around. And they have only had 3 in their history, I believe. Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and now Mike Tomlin. And they all stay there double-digit years. Pretty crazy. They cut Chris Oladokun without even playing him, but they're keeping Mason Rudolph. Yeah, figure that out. D. Scott says Daniel Jones for MVP as we're in overtime right now.
I would love that, D. Scott, but reality sinks in.
Yeah, reality sinks in. Thank you, A. Pizzle. I thought it was his 15th year, and has never had a losing record.
No, he has not. Never had a losing record.
Fabulous. That is fabulous. That's why I love Mike Tomlin, one of the best in the business. And we got to end the overtime. We got to get out of here. Tomorrow, I got a couple of interviews that I taped that you all will see, but Wise will join us. Cole will join us. And we got to get the heck on out of here. So for Wise, for Cole Johnson, for everybody in the chat, in the Fanatics feedback zone, thank you very much. Wise, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll do it again. All right. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, then they are not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We'll be back tomorrow to go at it one more time. Thank you all very much. We love you. We're out of here. See you tomorrow.
Thank you for tuning in to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts.